Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Modern Mom
Modern Mom
Girl.
Girl.
It's the girl Emmy.
And it's your girl, Lex. All right, so today's episode, we will be discussing about personality types, more specifically on the Myers-Briggs personality type. And so the definition of the Myers-Briggs personality type is that it is an indicator of a self-report inventory designed to identify a person's personality type, strengths, and preferences. And so this questionnaire was developed by Isabel Myers and her mother, Catherine Briggs, based on their work with Carl Jung's theory of personality types. And so today, Emmy and I will be discussing our personality types, similarities and differences with each other or with our personality types, and if we agree that it matches with who we are. So, Emmy, go ahead.
All right. So what I got for mine was ENFJA. And if you don't know what that means, it means extroverted, intuitive, feeling and judging, and assertive. And it was the same one that I got back in college, but back in college I was a T, which was turbulent, and I guess it has changed for the better in certain aspects and whatnot.
All right, and so funny, but at the same time, expected. Emmy and I have the same personality type,
Not surprised.
ENFJA. And even back then, too, I was a ENFJT, so I used to be
hmm
turbulent, but now I'm assertive. And I think that it's just been a whole lot of growth going on because at the end of our personality test, it'll show you the difference between T, turbulent, and A, assertive.
hmm
And so turbulent is more like, oh, you're still on the edge, like you're still worried about how people view you. But it's not a bad thing though, because you're very considerate of
hmm
people's
Of
views
others.
and right, yep. Whereas assertive, yes, you are still considerate, but then you are standing on your ground. You stand on business now. And that is the progression of what we wanted. And so we got it. But as always, it took a lot of hard work to get to where we are today. And it's so funny because when we took this test in college, Emmy and I and our other best friend, we got the same personality type. So the differences and similarities for me. So E does stand for extrovert. I feel like I learned how to be extrovert. I'm actually introvert with extrovert traits. And so, like, at the end of the day, I will always like to just come back to my own shell and stay where, I'm most comforted. But when I do go out and when I am with people, I do have those extrovert traits where I'm like, hey y'all, what's up? Da da da, let's have fun, let's get lit. So I feel like at the end of the day, I am a ambivert. And then with the N, intuitive, it says that I am 72% intuitive. Oh yeah, and I'm 67% extroverted. So yeah, 72% intuitive. It says that I am likely very imaginative and open minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. I like that and I do agree with it. And so for the F, I am 68% feeling. I also agree with this too because I'm a huge feeler. It says that I likely value emotional expression and sensitivity, prioritizing empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. 100% agree. And then for J, it is judging, 81%. You're likely organized, decisive, and thorough, valuing structure and planning over spontaneity. Is that how you say that word? Spontaneity. I'm gonna assume that's how you say that word. I do agree. I agree that I am very organized and decisive and thorough, value structure. Yes, because like I always need to have a planned day and I always have to make sure that I follow through. But if I don't, then it's fine. But everything just has to be planned and it
No,
just
literally,
has
back
to
when
be
we like
there.
would plan trips that never happened, Lex would have a whole itinerary already, like 6 a.m. get up, go do this, 7 a.m. do this, 8 a.m. Like I'm like, girl, relax. Like let's relax a little bit. You
Yeah.
know it's a trip. But yeah,
Yeah, I
she
was
likes to plan
like,
and be on it.
yeah, I was definitely on that. I was like, all right, we
Hmm.
doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, and then the numbers next. All right, and then last one is assertive. I am 64%. And so it says that you're likely self assured, even tempered, and resistant to stress, refusing to worry too much. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. And that is my personality. I agree with it 100%. Yeah, it's just crazy that I got this again because back in college, I remember that our professor told us that, it can change. And if you take it like maybe 5 years from now on, it will change. But I don't think it has been 5 years yet. It's been 4 years. Wait, no. It's only been 3 years since college, right?
I don't know. But we got
Oh,
21,
okay.
right? Yeah, it's been 3 years
Yes.
only. It's been 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to count it from
Damn.
21. That was high school. The heck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Wow.
been 3 years.
We's old.
I'm
How about
young.
you, Emmy? Any similarities and
Um,
differences?
yeah, so I got extroverted 54%, intuitive 72, feeling 56, judging 67, assertive 61%. Extroverted, I definitely agree with it. More in the middle. I know back then I was really extroverted. I will talk, 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 talk. And even if I didn't know you, I would really talk a
Mm-hmm.
lot to people and get to know them first or talk first. But now as I've gotten a little older, I've noticed that I'm becoming less of an extrovert now, and I kind of like to just I like to chill, and if someone talks to me, I'll talk to them. But now I don't really like approach somebody first anymore compared to how I used to before. And yeah, I've come to love spending time alone and being in my own presence and being at peace with that. And it's just a lot more calming now. Usually when I go to social gatherings with people, like I'm always energetic, but now I actually feel like, oh damn, yeah, my social battery is like out and like I need to go recharge it. And it wasn't like that before. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be like, yeah, really extroverted, always chirping away, but I'm still the same if I know you or like, you're my family, you're my friends, I will talk your ears off. But if I don't, then now compared to before, yeah, I won't approach anyone first anymore. But depends on situation. But yeah, I definitely agree with the extroverted, and everything else I also agree with. I don't want to dive too deep into that, but yeah, I agree with everything else. But I will mention the other things that I agree with as well, like for strength and weaknesses. Um, yeah, so a couple of things I agree for strengths with mine is strong minded opinions, but understand the importance of allowing others to express themselves. And I feel like that really is how I am. I do have really strong opinions, but I understand that, others' feelings matter as well, and they should express how they feel. And the other ones are passionate, altruistic, and charismatic, which I also agree with. And um, those are my strengths. And then my weaknesses unrealistic, overly empathetic, and um, those are the main ones that I listed because I definitely agree with it. What they say for unrealistic is if they aren't careful, they can spread themselves too thin and be left unable to help anyone. And then tendency to take on other people's problems as their own, a habit that can leave them emotionally and physically exhausted. And then um yeah, I think that's definitely me. I feel like I make other people's problems my own and I get a lot. really drained. I tend to focus on other people's problems more than my own. So by that time, I don't have my energy to figure out my own problems, you know. So yeah, I'm very emotionally and physically exhausted and mentally all the time, honestly. And I've been feeling it a lot lately too. So I just got to remind myself to keep myself in check and that those are really my strong weaknesses. And I notice them a lot. Like I acknowledge those weaknesses, and those are things that I have to work on, which I am currently trying to work on. I've been doing a lot better with, focusing on myself and whatnot. So yeah, and let's see, what else? So, relationship as well, some things I agree with. It just kind of stood out to me. I was going through this and I just screenshot whatever stood out to me that I agreed with. I become overly invested in helping my partner and end up neglecting my own self care hobbies and friendships. And I 100% definitely agree with this. I feel like when I am in a relationship, I get really I think I just like love too much or I care too hard for the other person where everything I do it's like, oh, I want to do it for them and I want them, I want them to be happy, them be happy as me being happy. But, I end up realizing that that's really just neglecting how I feel and neglecting my own happiness. And yeah, so honestly this test, if you take it and you really read into it, it really is your own personality type, which is kind of crazy. I'm just like, damn, this is exactly how I am. Like I do neglect myself in a relationship, That's why I'm not in one. Yeah. And and one more thing is work. So work that is repetitive, isolated, or otherwise constrained can be frustrating to them. And that is really true. I feel like when I'm in a work environment where I'm not able to do new things or be creative or just I do the same thing over and over again, I get really bored of it. I could be at a job for like 2 weeks. I'm like, damn, I'm tired of this job already. Like, is there anything else I could do, Like, let me go get a new
Mhm.
job. But obviously that's not healthy. And we're also more than capable of standing up for ourselves, but we just accept all the additional tasks because we like to keep the peace and avoid letting others down. And I feel like that applies to work and to personal life, which is, once you acknowledge that these are your weaknesses, you're able to work on them. So, which I've acknowledged these as my weaknesses, and I have been continuously working on them, this year and this past year. So, yeah, I really enjoy taking this test. I think looking at it now compared to how I was back in college, I have a really different aspect of it. And looking at it now, like I guess I'm an adult, as an adult back then compared to now, yeah, I think I have a broader understanding, and I would recommend you to retake it if you haven't yet.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with Emmy. When I was just looking at the weaknesses, one thing kind of did stand out to me, which was condescending. So it says that people with this personality type enjoy teaching others, particularly about the causes and beliefs that matter so much to them. But at times, the attempts to lighten others may come across as patronizing, not the most effective strategy for persuading other people, unfortunately. And I do feel that to my core because being the oldest, sometimes I just be preaching too much. And I'm just like, Lex, sometimes you just gotta let it run its course, whatever people are doing, whatever situation they're in, it's okay. No matter how many times you keep telling them or you keep preaching, like,
I don't know
let it
why,
go. Okay.
but like it always reminds me of like, when you give relationship advice and then you're like, I don't know though, that's just what I think. Like,
Oh my God, yes. Yeah,
like
always
if you
adding
do
that
this, like
ending.
I did say I don't know though. So if you take, my advice, I didn't tell you to. I said I don't know.
Right. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I just think that that one was really real, but at the same time it was funny too because when you read about your weaknesses, I think you should find a little humor in that. It's just like, dang, that is me,
Yeah.
and accept it.
But then what they also said is that when you push those people too much, they're just not ready to be onto that level yet,
Yeah,
So it's like
that is
they
true.
gotta level up too and, connect with their higher self.
Right, yep.
So, but yeah, you gotta
That
pace
is
yourself too.
true.
Definitely. You can't come
Mm-hmm.
off too hard.
And then in the friendships section of this um, personality, I feel like it's really a lot with Emmy and I, a wealth of perspectives. So, few personality types can match ENFJ's sincere desire to get to know people. For these personalities, discovering someone's quirks and opinions and hopes and follies is one of the life's purest pleasures. Most ENFJs can't help but be fascinated by other worldviews, even those with which they wholeheartedly disagree. Encountering a wealth of perspectives is what keeps life interesting for these types. And I agree with
Mm-hmm.
this with Emmy and I because like we are very open people and we always love to meet new people. And even if you view something that we may not understand or we see opposite, we would never just like close you off because we
Mm-hmm.
actually want to understand why you think the way you do. Just so like it can add on our palette of knowledge too. Like, oh, that's insightful. You know, it's interesting. And another point is through thick and thin. Very important. We can be among the best friends anyone could wish for, and not bragging, but it
That's
says that
true.
we are kind hearted and trustworthy. People with this personality type dedicate incredible amounts of energy and attention to their friendships. They want their friends to feel not merely validated, but supported, not merely heard, but understood.
Definitely agree with this
100%.
100%. That's so me. And that's so
Yeah.
Lex too. Like, definitely.
And then the last one is finding balance. We enjoy lending a helping hand, but we aren't always happy with the results. The truth is that some people don't have the energy or the drive to take full advantage of their offers to help, or they simply might not want to. For example, their friend might ignore that resume advice, or they might decide to kick back and relax instead of using that new resume to send out to job applications. When this happens, people with this personality type may feel unappreciated, frustrated, or resentful. They may even become judgmental in an effort to push their friend forward, an approach that all often backfires. And that goes back to that weakness of condescending, which is very true because I have done it before. And it does backfire, but it's just it's a life lesson.
I feel like I don't. Do I do that much? I don't know.
Let me think.
I mean, I know lately Lex has been
Well,
sending me hella her resumes and all these applications, but that's different. But we're
okay,
always like,
I have an example.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so honestly, Emmy is such a great person to go to advice for and just talk and just like rant and like when you want advice from Emmy, she will give it to you. And I just remember those times where like she would give me advice or other people, and then at the end of the day, they do the opposite. And then Emmy's just like, bro, I don't care anymore. It's just like, just do you, that's
No,
you. That's
literally.
your
Oh my
stuff.
God, yeah, literally though. People like they come to me with the same advice over and over and over again, and then I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. And they do the same thing over and over again, do the opposite. So like, but I'm
Yeah.
still your bestie. I'm still your friend. So I'm obviously gonna keep, giving you the advice you need. But if like I gotta put you in check and be like, girl, you need like you need to step it up, then I will. Like if I know I have to. In conclusion, we're just the main characters, y'all. I'm
Oh
kidding.
yeah, duh. We are the main characters because we're protagonists.
I'm the main character in my book.
Yes.
So in conclusion, what you have read so far is just an introduction to the complexities of people with the ENFJ personality type. Along the way, you may have muttered to yourself, wow, this is so accurate. It's a little creepy. Or finally, someone understands me. You may have even asked, how do they know more about me than the people I'm closest to do? If you feel understood right now, it's because you are. And blah, 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 all the research stuff. Um, uh, let's see. ENFJ's gifts include idealism, determination, and the ability to envision a better future, but they don't just want to hear what makes them great. These personalities are committed to actually using these gifts to serve a greater purpose.
Period.
And we shall.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I really think that this wraps Emmy and I up on who we are. But there are so many other personality. Oh my gosh, I keep saying personality. Like
Personality.
personality tests out
Personality.
there. For instance, I took the Clifton Strengths test. That one is like I think 30 minutes. Or Emmy, you took it too. We both took it in college. And
I
it
don't
took like,
remember.
oh, you don't remember?
I got bad memory, I told you.
Oh, yeah.
I've taken so
But
many because I took
yeah.
them at work. I took so many at work too. Like the color
Mhm.
code and disc and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy how many personality tests there are, but you guys should definitely check this one out. We will drop the link in the description on Spotify. I think you can
And
do
on
that.
YouTube,
Yes.
down
And
below.
yeah, basically it's just 16personalities.com, the number 16personalities.com. And yeah, take it, find out who you are, if you think it matches you, if you
Think it
agree with
doesn't,
it.
let us know.
Right.
So, to sum it up, do we think this matches our personality type? Um, yeah, I would say for me, yes, it definitely matches my personality type. I feel like I'm still though learning to be more assertive still, and I don't think it's a high 61 yet, but if they say it is, then period. I think I just don't notice it. Um, and then just what I think about if it matches Lex as well, I also think it does. I think we're very similar. So yeah. What about you, Lex? What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. So, y'all go check out this personality test. I hope that you guys see yourselves as someone as very unique and awesome, amazing, because as you should, this is you. You are
Hmm.
you. And this is you.
All right, so that sums up today's episode. And as a reminder, we're here for you every other Wednesday. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us, follow us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Madam Hungirl. Thank you so much for staying with us until the very end, and we hope to see you
See you
soon,
soon,
girlies.
girlies.